Welcome everybody to my blind Tannat tasting in celebration of North Carolina Wine Month. We are here, of course, for a couple of reasons. Primarily to celebrate North Carolina Wine Month, not to be confused with North Carolina Grape Month. That's coming. And, of course, we are here because we love Tannat.
This time I would like to introduce to you my esteemed and honored guests who have joined me today. I'm going to start to my right with two people whose names and faces are synonymous with North Carolina wine. Those of us who know them and love them call them Joe and Nat. But everybody else knows them as the NC Wine Guys. My next guest is also deeply entrenched in North Carolina wine. She is the executive director of the North Carolina Wine and Grape Council, someone who I get the pleasure of blind tasting wine with every other week. I believe she is WSIT level 4 with distinction. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brianna Burns. Poor Doug is sitting there shaking in his boots right now. He's going, oh my God, what is he going to say about me? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to say about him. Ladies and gentlemen, this man just welcomed a new baby into the world. I don't know if I'd have the pleasure of having Doug here tonight or not, but he is a brand new father. He is also very, very knowledgeable about wine. He is WSIT level 3, working on 4. Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Bogan. My next guest, I have just had the pleasure of meeting for the very first time. They are mutual friends of mine, a dear friend, Dr. Linda Van Gumbos. Dr. Van Gumbos and I go back to 2007, when she was a middle school language arts teacher and I was a middle school science teacher. We both shared a love for wine then and now, and my guests and I were supposed to share a tasting at a winery, which I shall not name, and unfortunately it fell through. And I could think of no better way to rekindle that relationship with them than to invite them here today. Please welcome Sam and Norbert Ortwig. My next guests are no strangers to North Carolina wine. They have so many social media avenues: Triangle Around Town, What's on the Menu, Screw It Wine, which I happen to contribute writing to regularly, and they are also the new co-owners of Local 919. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jen Primrose and Dathan Cassett. My next guest I had the pleasure of meeting through Jen and Dave. We were doing a tasting at Jen and Dave's. I met, Dathan and Jen. And notice the wife will correct me in my ear. I'm editing all that out. I had the pleasure of meeting this gentleman and his wife Gina, and they participated in my sparkling tasting just this past weekend or two. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gary Sanders. My next guest is the renowned editor of Vinosphere, and someone who I've had the pleasure of being friends with since 2019. Because he lives in close proximity to me, I regularly get the opportunity to share a glass of wine with him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dave Nershi. They are the face and the soul of Tar Heel taps and corks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kyle and Natalie Hampton. And last, and surely not least, the people who drink wine with me more than Dave does. And my favorite story about them is that all through the pandemic, when we all shut ourselves in and nobody would go anywhere, every weekend we drank wine with them, and it kept us from going crazy. And we never gave COVID to them, and they never gave COVID to us. But after the boosters and everything, we all got it. Their son was born just months after our daughter was, and we have been friends ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brian and Michelle Harris.
And I am your host, Arthur Barham. So, let me get my clicker out of my pocket. Let's talk about Tannat, because that's why we're here. Tannat made its first appearance on Wine Spectator's Top 100 Wines, believe it or not, in just 2017. It was listed then as number 41, and it was Bodega Garzon, which you will get to taste today. Not 2015, but the same vineyard and winery, their reserve, and of course this wine is from Uruguay. Tannat is a great value, thank God, because I had to buy just about all of these. I got gracious donations from my friend Dave, from Linda Van Gumbos, and from Brianna. No, I thought you did. I can't remember. But Tannat is a very reasonably priced wine, between $15 and $30 a bottle. Tannat has also been touted as one of the healthiest red grapes, along with, of course, our good friend muscadine. It has very high levels of antioxidants and resveratrol. And finally, folks, in case you are not aware, newer Tannat vine clones are improving this wine. The power, structure, and complexity, and the frisky foxiness that turned some people off in the past has now been vindicated out. So, you didn't come here to hear me talk. You came here to taste. So, for today's tasting, you will taste through at least 7 Tannats, and I'll explain why in a second. We have poured you just 2 ounces of each one, so nobody has to stumble out of here. And if you would like to revisit some, you certainly can. We'll set up for that as you are going through them. In the selection, I'm very proud to say you will be treated to old world as new world Tannats, and that our beloved state of North Carolina is represented. So let's talk about scoring, or as I was taught at the sparkling tasting, ranking. At your tables, you have been given 3 poker chips. At the end of your tasting, you are going to give the blue poker chip, and you see the cups over there against the wall. You're going to put the blue poker chip in the wine you consider the best of all you taste. By doing so, you will award that wine 5 points. The red chip you will give to your second choice, and by doing so, you will award that wine 3 points. And finally, you have a white chip. That is your third place, and that is only 1 point. So you're only going to be telling me what are your top 3. Okay, so this is going to be really, really tough. Let's talk about today's lineup. which is actually printed for your pleasure on the back of your tasting sheet. We have the 2020 Bodega Garzon Reserva from Uruguay. The 2008 Kerrville Hills from Texas. Many thanks to Dave Nershi for contributing a bottle of this. We have the 2019 Rosemont from Virginia. This is the one that VG gave me. We have Upper Shirley represented in Virginia. Our beloved Shelton, 2019. And the Domaine du Moulin Madarin from France. And you see, I didn't put in Surrey Cellars' picture. My bad. I'll put it in the video. But I have one from Surrey Cellars as well. Can't drink wine without food. So over on the left here, we have smoked herb Boston butt and barbecue sauce. We have a roasted turkey breast. We have baked beans, Borracha style. I learned this from Dave Nershi. This translates into drunken beans. So it's essentially beans that have been cooked in beer and some very mild peppers and seasonings and spices. Even my picky wife ate it and said it was really good and I like it. And there will be a salad and dressing provided as well as dessert. And when you are done, I will show you a place where you can, and we did not give you the lids, thank goodness. I'll show you a place where you can dump your carafes when you are ready. Do you have questions? If not, oh, see, that's why she's my better half. Okay. Yeah, that's coming in the end. Actually, that's an episode of who Everybody Loves Raymond. You have one additional Tannat, but I'm going to footnote it, okay? All your Tannats came out of the bottle. You can buy them on the shelf. But the last Tannat was given to me by a North Carolina winery, and it is straight out of the barrel, okay? So if you have any concerns about it, you do not have to consume it. It is the one in front of everybody, okay? Thank you, dear, for reminding me of that. So, if you have no questions, you may go ahead over the next hour. Taste at your leisure. Get up, have some food. Taste 2 or 3, have some food, get some food now. You're on your own. Okay? Good. Okay. I'm going to reveal now for you the results. I'm going to start with your wine A. You didn't know I played the trumpet, did you? Your wine A was the Bodega Garzon from Uruguay. And by the way, I would be remiss if I did not remind everybody that we started off today with a sip of the sparkling from the good people at Parker Beans. And a shout out to my man, K. Bernard Classic, for making me this bow tie just for this occasion. Your wine B. Your wine B, which was quite popular, By the way, wine A got 3 points. Wine B got 11 points. Rosemont Tannat. Guess what Mary's getting for Mother's Day? A bunch of Tannat. I'm going to now skip to your wine F. F like freaky. Wine F was the Tannat from Upper Shirley. Wine G I had to make a bag. Hey, I learned it from you. Y'all wrap them in tinfoil. I've seen y'all wrap them in tinfoil, okay? Wine D was from Walmart and Lowe's, by way of Lowe's. Wine G was the Maturin. And in case I didn't mention it, this is the birthplace of Tannat. 16 points, and that did not get them into the top 3. And I will also tell you that wine H was not the worst. It got 13 points, and that was a generous contribution from Chris Nelson and Jay Raffaldini. That Tannat has not seen a bottle yet. That was straight out of the barrel. So why don't we go to your third place wine? With a total of 20 points. By your votes, the third place wine, Kerrville Hills, Texas. D like doggy, woof woof. Kerrville Hills. As I was telling my good friend Dave, I got a nice comment on my reel that I posted, and I hope all of you liked it and saw it. I got a comment from Jim Rivenberg. He is known as the Johnny Appleseed of Tannat in Texas. He brought the varietal to Texas and is its leading proponent. This third place was 20 points. In second place was wine E. Surrey Cellars. This one also did very well in the recent NC Fine Wines competition. Best red? Best red. Surrey Cellars. And the points on second place was 25. So, it is obvious by process of elimination that by your votes, the number one Tannat in today's tasting was the Shelton 259. 35 points. 10 more than second place. Guys, as Joe and I were just discussing, This has been awesome. And I've been sweating this for a while, but I have to say, if it wasn't for Joe and Matt coming in, pitching in, Natalie, all you did, Brianna came in, I couldn't have done it without you. And I look forward to doing this several more times in the future. We always do this at my house, the Pinot Noir, the Blind Vermentino. But I think it's time to start taking this out into the public, because I love what Joe and Matt did on the live stream. They dispel myths. I love when Brianna says you can age North Carolina wine. We need to get more people aware of the Vitis vinifera that is so predominant in this state, and the wonderful things that we are doing with muscadine. It is all not sweet and syrupy. We have dry, we have semi-dry. You are welcome to stick around, eat. Mary and I are just going to be kind of cleaning up and packaging up. And if anybody's got any party left in them, I have a double magnum of Italian Super Tuscan over there. Okay? So everybody, thank you so much for coming today.